Well, even that stuff is, there's different sides of history on that, because other people would say like
it's not history, it's science.
Yeah, but all that stuff, like you'll find stuff on the History Channel, the Science Channel. It's not all 100%. It's a lot of it's interpretation. You know, like for instance, right?
It is science. First thing, they can, you know, they can look at the topography and tell what parts of the land were under, you know, underwater and what parts weren't. There's geology as well.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that a lot.
Are you saying all science is an interpretation?
No, not all. There is a lot of interpretation that goes in, like, or there are a lot of things that get called science that aren't necessarily. So it kind of gets mixed up. There's a lot of good science, and then there's a lot of bad science, and there's a lot of.
I mean, astrology is not science. Archaeology is, but it is also an interpretation.
I would be speaking specifically of things like, let's say, like the theory of evolution is called science, when in fact it's not a proven fact, and it's like far from it. And there's a lot of evidence that would suggest otherwise. But it gets.
You don't believe in evolution?
Not the way that it's taught. Not Darwinian evolution.
I mean, I'm not saying it didn't take hundreds of thousands of years for it to happen.
I just don't believe it.
It didn't happen in 7 days and 7 nights.
I just don't believe in the theory that we evolve from, like, basically rearranged pawn scum.
I mean, there's proof. There's skeletons.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, that the interpretations come in, because a lot of that stuff, most of that stuff has already been proven to be false, like hoaxes and things like that, and they're still taught to people as fact when they're not. They've been proven wrong. And a lot of that stuff, it's like they find animal bones.
What do you believe? Trolling? What do you believe?
Well, I believe that...
Because it doesn't seem like you believe very much.
Well, about what? About the origins of humanity?
The world. Humanity.
Well, I believe that there's a God that created everything. I don't think that it just happened
Okay, well that
accidentally.
answers all my questions. So we're gonna stop talking now.
Because either way you cut it, it's faith. If you don't...
I don't believe in that.
Well, you'd have to believe, it's faith to believe in evolution just the same, because nobody was here 4.6 billion years ago to say what happened and what didn't happen. And there's no science that could possibly test anything 4.6 billion years old.
Dendrochronology, have you not? Wow. You're living in a hole, my friend.
There's no science that can conclusively prove that the world, that the universe came about 4.6 billion years ago, when a dot the size of a period on the page exploded.
Especially with anything with DNA in it.
What?
You can age things, or you can prove how old something is.
There's no possible way you could prove that something is 4.6 billion years old. That number just came out of nowhere. Even the theory of evolution.
But I'm not agreeing with that. I'm just saying that there's ways that you can age things.
Yeah, but
especially if they're bones and wood.
If it's carbon dating, it has a half-life, and there's only so much that, like, there's only so far that it can go back to carbon date something. Like, for instance, there's too many unknown variables. Like, you don't know what the atmosphere was even like, let's say 10,000 years ago. To even, there's like, you don't even have the right variables to do the equation to say what the age is of anything, because the way that they date things, right?
How did I even do that? How did I even do that? Oh my god, I'm terrible. How am I even running this fucking Huntress right now? And why is that person still on a hook?
I just took them off. But for instance, like, they date the fossils by the layers of rock that they're found in, but then they date the layers of rock by the fossils that are found in them. So it's complete circular reasoning.
We're not going to see eye to eye on this, so it's best that we stop talking about it, please. I beg you. I don't like having discussions like this because they make me angry. Because neither one of us are going to believe either. You're not going to believe me. I'm not going to believe you. And that's fine.
Well, just the bottom line is,
we can still be friends and just not talk about it.
And that's just basically my point, is that whatever people believe is a choice, and it's a belief, and it requires faith any way you cut it.
Man has had that type of feeling since they were drawing pictures in caves.
Well, there are still people that live in caves, like in Afghanistan, like the Taliban. But really, the bottom line is people believe what they want to believe. Like, facts are just irrelevant. And in any court of law, you have the facts, and then you have both sides interpreting the facts. So you have the defense saying, well, these are the facts, and this is why my client is innocent. And then you have the prosecution saying, well, these are the facts, and this is why the defendant is guilty. And they're looking at the same exact facts, arguing complete different things, like O.J. Simpson was acquitted of murder.
Things are absolutely obvious.
Well, that's what it seems like to the person who believes them.
We're gonna stop now. We're gonna stop this now, right? You are triggering me so hard right now.
Well, I don't know. I don't know why the conversation has to trigger anybody. If you're secure in what you believe, then it shouldn't trigger you. It doesn't trigger me, but I understand.
What's triggering me is that you're starting to sound like my mother, and my mother abused me my entire life. That's what's triggering me. It's not what you're talking about. It's the fact that you're being argumentative.
I'm just standing.
You get it now?
I'm just standing. I'm just holding my ground with what I believe.
Please don't do that. I'm not attacking you. I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying we can have different beliefs, and we can be friends, but we just need to stop talking about it. Please? Can we do that?
I'm fine with that. I don't need to force a conversation that I don't like, that somebody doesn't want to have. But I'm just gonna state my beliefs and end it. I'm not gonna back away from what I believe. I was playing this entire match just like kind of second nature, autopilot. Which is probably why everyone died.
Somehow I was running a fucking Huntress. She eventually got me. I was like, how the hell am I running her? I don't know how to do that.
But there's nothing I can do. I'm too far away, and she's kind of proxy camping.
Oh yeah, I mean that map is huge, so...
I just don't play like that, like looking out for myself, trying to get hatch. But I don't think there's anything I could do there.
Sometimes you don't have a choice.
And she probably got barbecue,
kind of
so she knows exactly where I'm at, I think. Oh, she's right there.
Oh shit, I left the match and didn't even freaking go into spectate.
What is she doing?
What's wrong with me?
She's just
gives me a perfect time to take a break. I need to go.
She's just throwing hatchets at nothing. Like, she's just throwing hatchets at the rock.
The prestige.
She knows exactly where I am. I think she knows exactly where I am.
I'm gonna take a short break. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I feel like we could have done a lot better in this match. That kind of aside.
Yeah, there wasn't much coordination, but somehow we got down to one generator.
Yeah, that's crazy for how many times we got hooked at 5 gens.
I haven't even been hooked yet, but I'm gonna die on my first. Somehow I avoided the killer that whole time. Oh, she's right there. What is she, at the hatch?
She's AFK.
No, she's at the hatch. She's standing at the hatch, isn't she?
I don't think so. that's not hatch. I suggest you go and find it before she goes to try to find it.
It's right there.
Oh, just run to it.
She let me. It was there.
Oh, that's why she was opening lockers and she knew where you were. Yeah, that's darkness revealed.
She gave me that about.
I'm gonna go and get me a green tea. I'll be back in 1 second.
And turn on crosshair. Man, what kind of teammate was I to just let everyone die?
Oh. I did not mean to hit that button.
So she was just standing over hatch, like she just let me get it.
I'm back.
I crept up behind and then ran and jumped in the hatch. And Huntress was like, it's about time. And I was like...
She was waiting for you to get hatch.
Yeah, and I said, haha, I outplayed you, uninstall.
Hardly. Hardly. You know what? I was in a match earlier, and there was one person left, and I ran into him by the front door. We were in RPD, alright? And she just stood there. And I was like, okay. So I smacked the gen. I was like, go ahead and do the gen. She wouldn't do it. And then I ran around trying to find Hatch. And I found Hatch. She didn't follow me. She never followed me. So I closed Hatch. And then I went to the front door and like, okay, now open the front door. And then she just stood there. And stood there. And stood there.
You can't...
stood there. And I'm like, fuck you then. I'm going to hook your ass and kill you.
She stood right there at the front gate?
She just stood there. Even after I smacked the door and like opened the door. She just stood there. I'm like, what is wrong with you? She came into my freaking stream afterwards and was like, I gave up. I'm like, why would you give up when I'm giving you an exit? Like, why?
She might have thought that you were just trying to, like, rub salt in the wound and, like, get her to open the gate so that you could...
I walked away from the door. Like, I smacked it and then walked away from it.
Like sometimes I'm giving people the gate with nurse and they run the other direction. They don't get it, or like they go to open it and then they try to run away and outplay me.
They did say that they were Ash level survivor. They were main killer, so that's maybe why they didn't understand what I was doing. But I don't know.
You should know that if they play killer.
They said they weren't
I even freaking put her on my shoulder after I got her down, and I let her get off. And she still...
No, there are some survivors where, like, I pick them up, I let them wiggle out, I bring them to the gate, I hit the gate and everything, and they just run. No, some of them will run deep into the map.
It's literally like fight or flight, and they just fly. Like, I'm out of here.
It's like they have a free ticket, but instead they run deep into the map and get eaten by the entity instead.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
I've had that happen a couple of times.
I'm like, if you're gonna do that, like, why don't you just let me hook you and get the points then?
Let me just hook you, right, and get it over with. At least some people get some blood points out of it.
That's what we
Ooh,
call
another
the
TTV.
airplanes of Dead by Daylight.
Or for me, I give them the gate, and then I use nurse and I blink to the other side, like inside the
Yeah,
gate.
blink inside of it, yeah.
And then I stand by there and check. And then like some of them will open it and just trust me, but others will like try to outplay me and go to the other gate or something.
Oh, they're not streaming.
This look,
And it looks like they main killer.
this TTV here thought that they could put the most mismatched outfit on Fang, but I'm
Apparently you have the most
I'm one-upping them.
You are most certainly doing that. That is such an ugly outfit. You're gonna stand out like a sore thumb.
There's nothing that says tunnel me like this outfit.
It does, right?